Alex and Nate were buzzing with excitement as they packed their bags for a camping trip in the Appalachian Mountains. They wanted to escape the noise of busy lives and enjoy nature away from screens. As they hiked, the trees grew taller and the air became fresher. The path was long, but every step felt like an adventure. Finally, they found a perfect spot by a gentle stream. The sun dipped below the trees, painting the sky with orange and pink hues as they set up their tents. There were no phones or social media to worry about, just the sound of water flowing and birds singing. As night fell, they gathered around the crackling fire, laughing and sharing stories. Under a blanket of stars, they felt truly free. The first night was peaceful and warm, the kind of night where worries faded away and friendships shone bright. Their journey into nature had just begun, and the promise of new memories lay ahead. The second day of their adventure was filled with excitement as they hiked through the woods, discovering trails that led to hidden gems. Then they stumbled upon an old cabin. Its windows were broken and the roof sagged. It looked like it hadn't been touched for years. While Alex laughed and declared it a forgotten piece of history, a chill ran down the narrator's spine. That night, the group gathered around the warm glow of their campfire, sharing stories and laughter. But then, a strange whistle cut through the air. It was soft but clear, echoing from the dark trees. Alex joked again, saying it was just another camper playing around. But I felt that something was off. The whistle is rhythmic and deliberate, stopping abruptly, stopping all of a sudden. A wave of unease filled the air, but they tried to brush it off. With nervous hearts, they decided to go to sleep, ignoring the warning that lingered in the silence of the woods. In the dead of night, I woke up with a start. The crunch of leaves filled the air, slow and measured. Someone or something was circling their tent. Heart racing, they held their breath, trying to listen closely. Barely able to speak, they shook Alex awake. "Do you hear that?" they whispered urgently. Alex, barely awake, shrugged it off. "Just an animal," he muttered, but I could not forget the eerie sound. It felt too human. The footsteps stopped, leaving an unsettling silence that wrapped around them like a heavy blanket. Despite the unease, sleep won out, but the rest was restless. When morning light finally broke, they woke up tired, the weight of the night lingering. The footsteps in the dark were a mystery, one that shadowed their minds as they packed up their camp. The morning sun rose bright, but a chill ran through the camp. As the group stretched and yawned, they noticed something strange. The dirt around their tents had large barefoot prints. They were not from any of them. Nate, trying to lighten the mood, joked that maybe a hiker had wandered in. But the missing approach prints made their hearts race. Where had the giant feet come from? Who had walked so close to them without a sound? Even as laughter mixed with fear, they decided to stay. They refused to let this mystery ruin their adventure. Together, they gathered their courage and prepared for the day, eager to explore the woods, still haunted by the unknown prints that lay just beyond their tents. The woods were eerily silent that evening. The air felt heavy, and the usual sounds of birds were gone. As they searched for firewood, a figure suddenly appeared between the trees. It stood tall and still, watching them from the shadows. They called out, hoping it was another hiker, but received no answer. Confused and a bit scared, they rushed to grab Alex. When they turned back, the figure had vanished. The group stood together, hearts racing, unsure of what to do. Some wanted to leave, arguing that the woods were too strange. Others claimed it was just their minds playing tricks. They took a deep breath and decided to stay, convincing themselves it was nothing more than an imagination. But deep down, they all felt the weight of the shadow in the trees, watching, waiting in the silence. It was just before sunrise when the group decided to pack up their campsite. The air was cold and thick with silence, but something felt off. As they looked around, they noticed their cooler had been dragged a few feet into the woods. The lid was wide open, yet all the food remained untouched. Confused, they exchanged worried glances. Then, one of them spotted fresh, bare footprints leading into the dark trees. Nate's heart raced as he recalled faint laughter echoing through the night. He had thought it was just a dream, but now he felt the chill of something real and eerie. With quick hands, they stuffed their gear into their bags, the feeling of being watched creeping over them like a shadow. Each step back toward the trailhead felt heavier, as if the forest itself was holding its breath. They hurried along, hearts pounding, eager to escape whatever unknown mystery had lurked in the night. Back home, I sat down with excitement to view the photos from their trip. Each click opened up memories of laughter and joy. But suddenly, one blurry image stopped their heart. It was a picture of their tent at night, shining under the moon. The angle was strange, like someone had taken it from very close by. Fear gripped them. Who captured this moment? They quickly called their friends, Alex and Nate, but both seemed clueless. Each denial made the skin crawl. Unease filled the air as they decided to meet and talk. But even in a room full of friends, the narrator felt a heavy weight of dread, as if eyes were still watching from the darkness. What happened on that trip? Who was capturing their moments? The peace was gone, replaced by a chilling mystery that began with a single photograph. As they gathered together, the question lingered. Were they truly safe, or was something lurking just beyond the light? It was a night like any other until a strange sound broke the silence. A soft tapping came from my bedroom window, sending chills down my spine. I lived on the second floor, so I knew no one could reach me. Panic set in as I picked up my phone and called the police. My heart raced with fear as I heard sirens approaching. But when the officers arrived, they found nothing. No one was outside, just a quiet street under the moonlight. Only one clue remained, a single barefoot print in the dirt below my window. It was too small to be an adult, too strange to ignore. My mind raced back to the figure I had seen lurking in the woods days before. Had it followed me home? The question lingered in the air, heavy with dread. I lay awake, knowing that sleep would not come easily. Someone or something was out there, and it knew where I lived. There are moments that change you forever. After a camping trip that should have been fun, I found myself looking over my shoulder day and night. The thrill of the woods turned to fear. I felt watched, so I set up cameras around my home and stopped going outside after dark. Then one night, my front porch camera captured something that froze my blood. A tall figure, still and silent, lurking at the edge of my property for hours. When it finally disappeared, so did my sense of safety. I moved to a new apartment, but the shadow of fear lingered. Now, even in the safety of four walls, I still hear that chilling whistle in my dreams. It's a reminder that some threats are unseen and they can haunt you forever. Picture this, a dark campsite where the only light flickers from a small fire. The trees stand tall around you, casting long shadows that seem to move. You hear whispers on the wind, faint and unsettling. In this dark place, long gone are the safety of familiar sounds. As night deepens, you may sense you are not alone. Would you dare to set up your tent here, enveloped by the eerie silence? Or does the thought of strange noises send you running for safety? If you've ever felt the chill of being watched, we want to know. Tell us in the comments, would you brave this haunting wilderness? Or would you flee at the first hint of danger? We're eager to hear your stories. Remember to subscribe for more chilling tales that keep you on the edge of your seat. The woods hold secrets, and they are never truly empty. So would you take the plunge into this unknown darkness?